Today throat don't dry. So sabo jalaru lenga donama laru mechi mo white debo. Donam. Problem. Nekani bima keda mi yawo. Bele mo ga chukula ya bare.
My dear friends in Christ, welcome to Good Friday. I just woke up this morning and a question came to mind. What is good about the Good Friday? What is good about Good Friday? Why do we call this day Good Friday? The day the Son of Mary, an only Son, was crucified. The day the Messiah was condemned, crucified, killed, and buried. The day the beloved Son of God was killed by the same people he has come to save. If you were to be in place of Mary, will you call today Good Friday? Will you address today as Good Friday? Just put yourself in the shoe of Mary. Is today good for you? If you were to be a mother with an only son, and this son was rejected by everyone, the very people he has come to deliver, the very people he has come to save, the people, look at thousands of people he fed. And then, today, an only son of a mother, the only hope of a family, the breadwinner of a family, is being crucified, is being killed like an armed robber. Ordinary, imagine the same way robbers were killed. Think of the two robbers by the two sides. A shameful death. The most humiliating death. The most cruel death. And you are the mother of this only son. If you are the mother of this only child, will you refer today as Good Friday? If you were the one that was condemned, we are going through the stations of the cross right now, and I'm using each of them to ask you questions. If you were the one that was condemned unjustly, you did not commit any crime, and they brought all kinds of false allegations against you, and you were just condemned to die, death by hanging, death by crucifixion, will you refer the day of your crucifixion as Good Friday? If you were to be the one, they placed that heavy cross, the cross so heavy, so painful. If you were the one bearing this cross, and then with the tears, with the pains, will you still refer today as Good Friday? Just a moment. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, my
Man
dear.
of God.
My dear, how are you?
I'm fine, Father. Last small one day, but I sent it to your WhatsApp. Then I want all snap now, then you will see another.
How much is that small? Is it the biggest one, dear?
The biggest one here now is 17,000. It's what they wrote here.
You have to bring it.
Let me snap it so that you see it.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Father.
I just ask you a second question. I have 14 questions to ask. If you were the one they placed that heavy cross. And you are carrying it. Cross that is not even your own cross. Cross that is not supposed to be your own. And then they place a heavy cross on you. How will you feel? Will you still refer today as Good Friday? Look at the first four. When he fell the first time, people thought he was joking. He fell, not voluntarily. He fell because the cross was so heavy on him. And I'm asking you, if you were to be the one falling down, and then people are laughing at you, a whole Messiah, will you still refer today as Good Friday? And then while you are staggering, think of how humiliating, how shameful it is. Every child will want to make his mother proud. Every child will want his mother, his parents to be proud of him or her. And that's why when you come home with good result, you run to your mother. Mommy, see my result. And now, your mom sees you. You meet your mother on the way, and they are dragging you to crucify you like a robber. And your mother is looking at you, and you are looking at your mother. You see your mother with the tears. You see your mother with the pains. You can't even help her. You can't even console her. The distance between you and the mother, the soldiers have covered. You can't even express what is in your heart. Your mother could not even communicate. And then you meet your mother on your way to crucifixion. Will you still refer today as Good Friday? When we talk about Veronica wiping the face of Jesus Christ, you should have asked yourself, why should Veronica wipe his face? What led to that? Because we are not talking about sweat. If it was ordinary sweat, it's different. But we are talking of blood. When they placed that tongues, blood started gushing out, the tongues, and then the whole face was covered with blood. The blood was even flowing into the eyes. And then Veronica saw this horrible situation and then came and used her napkin to wipe his face. And if you were to be the one in that horrible situation with that blood covering your face, will you still refer today as Good Friday? Hello. Can you look for money and bring it? I'll give you when you come, okay?
Okay, brother. I'll send another one, whether you will like them.
How much is that one?
So, now the same thing. So, I use as now.
Bring the best. Bring the best.
No, I don't know the particular size when you bring it. Fine.
No, that one is okay. It's okay.
Okay,
I've seen it. It's okay. Look for money, buy it. I will pay you when you come, okay? Sorry for that. Veronica saw something that In fact, it's so disgusting, so humiliating, so painful. In fact, the sight of it was terrible. So the only thing she could do was to wipe the face with her napkin. And I'm asking you, imagine you in a state like that, where blood is gushing from your head, sweat, you don't even know which one is sweat and which one is blood. Your face covered with blood. And I'm asking you, if anybody asks you that day to describe the day, will you still describe it as Good Friday? Is it Good Friday for you? Imagine how helpless he was. He could no longer help himself. And we were told that Simon or Simeon, I don't know which one you call him, Simeon of Cyrene, had to help him, the one who has come to help the world, the one who has come to save the world. And look at him now. He is helpless. He is weak. Somebody, ordinary human being, has to come to help him. And all this while, he has been going about healing the sick. He has been going about delivering the poor. He has been going about proving how strong he is. Even the most stubborn demon, he has been dealing with him. But look at him now. He could not even help himself. He could not even carry the cross to the end. And you see yourself helpless. And Simeon was now the one helping you to carry your cross. If anybody asks you to describe the day, will you still refer to it as Good Friday? Even after helping him, even after assisting him, the moment they placed the cross back on his shoulder, he did not even go up to 3 poles. He fell down again. A second time. He fell down again. Look at the bruises on his nails. This time around, he was injured. And with this second falling, will you still refer today as Good Friday? As Good Friday. How good is this Good Friday? How good? As if that was not enough. As he was going, some people were laughing at him. The soldiers were mocking him. And all of a sudden, he saw women crying for him. Women of Jerusalem. Crying, wailing for him. He looked at them. All he could do, because he can't even help them. The women were crying because of what they saw. They were crying because they could not even imagine their children, their son, going through such a painful treatment. They were crying because they were just treating him like an animal. Even animal, you can't treat animal like this. So he told them, women of Jerusalem, do not cry for me. Cry for yourself and for your children. And you are seeing the tears of these women. And somebody is asking you, how are you? What can you say about today? Will you still refer today as Good Friday? Good Friday. To the extent women are not crying for you. So weak, so vulnerable, so helpless. As the women were crying for him, he was trying to console them. He thought he had the energy. He staggered just The next pole, he fell again. A third time, and this time around, the heavy weight, the heavy cross now crushed on him. You see the heavy cross, the cross that was so heavy, the cross was now lying flat on him. He could not even raise himself again. That was it. He was lying so helpless with that heavy cross on top of him. And I'm asking you, if you were the one falling a third time, lying helpless, will you still refer today as Good Friday? What is good about Good Friday? What is good about this Good Friday? Why do we call it Good Friday? Just imagine yourself, a whole Savior of the world, and his garment, his clothes were taken away. They naked him. They stripped him naked. See how you feel. Can you imagine yourself? What can be more humiliating? They stripped you naked, completely naked. And then your garment, they cast lot. Hey, you were just there, lying so helpless. And then you're naked. Everybody were laughing at you. And you can imagine those of you who are in a cold weather, there's snow. Imagine how you'll be feeling to make sure that the cold enters his body. And with all this cold, with all this shame, because when they stripped you naked, you are empty. You are naked indeed. All he could say, naked I came into the world, naked I shall return. The Lord has given and the Lord has taken away. And I'm asking you, if you were the one they stripped naked, will you still refer today as Good Friday? Will you still refer the day you were stripped naked as Good Friday? What is special about this day? What is good about Good Friday? After stripping him naked, they stretched out his hand and started nailing him on the cross. See the sharp nail and see the heavy hammer. They started nailing him on the cross. When they stretch his hand in such a way that if you, after nailing him, you dare not bend your hand, you dare not scratch yourself, even if you are feeling pain in any part of your body, you cannot rub it. You cannot, oh my God, your hand has to be there. So that by the time they will pierce his heart, he will not, hold the hand. He will not use his hand to rub it or feel the pain where the pain. Just stretch his hand, nailed it on the cross. The right hand, they nailed the right hand on the cross, nailed the left hand on the cross, stretch the leg, nailed the two on the cross. Even, oh my God. And you see blood gushing out, both from the hand, from the left hand, from the right hand, and the blood was still gushing out from the head. Before then he could use his hand to wipe his face, but now the blood was gushing out, and then the leg, pen, hand, and then he was still there, helpless. Nobody could rescue him. Nobody could sympathize with him. So after nailing him on the cross, and somebody is now asking, what do you say about today? If you were the one, will you still refer today as Good Friday? With all the pain put in the palm, your two sides, the head, the leg, and with all this pain, I'm asking you, will you still refer today as Good Friday? What is special about Good Friday? When they now crucified him, they just make sure that they crucify him in the middle of two robbers so that people will know. You know, they say birds of a same feather flock together. They did it in such a way that people will say, okay, after all, he's one of the robbers. This is how they used to crucify armed robbers. You know? Oh. As he was hanging there, they were mocking him. They were mocking him. Soldiers will come and say, oh yeah, prophet, prophesy, prophesy. To the extent, one of the thieves they crucified with him was even mocking him. Okay, why are you crying like a baby? Eh? You saved others. Why can't you save yourself and save us? Eh? The other one looked at him and said, that man is innocent. We are the one that deserve death. He has not done anything. And he turned to him and said, Father, remember me. Lord, remember me when thou comest into your kingdom. He said, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. Today you shall be with me in paradise. That is the only thing he could say. And even as they were mocking him, if I was the one, I would have called Holy Ghost fire to finish all those soldiers. If I was the one and you are insulting me with that kind of pen, I will show you that when power jam power, lesser power will bow. I would have called the highest thunder to strike you down. But I was surprised. Instead of him calling fire, instead of him calling thunder, he prayed for them. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Father, forgive them. Forgive the same people who are hurting you. To forgive the same people who are causing you pain. The same people who crucified you. The same people who pierced your side. The same people who gave you vinegar to drink. And here you are, praying for them. Praying for them that God should forgive them. I can't do that. Because what I cannot do, I can't even, when I see somebody doing it, I praise that person. If I was the one in that pen, I have told you what I would have done. I would have invoked the most dangerous thunder to strike all of them down. How can you be causing me pain and you want me to be praying for you? But he did it. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. He did not curse them. He did not insult them. He did not condemn them. He was patient with them. And all of a sudden, another opportunity came. He now saw the mother at the foot of the cross. He saw the mother at the foot of the cross. Now the heart has pierced. This woman's heart has pierced. The heart was now bleeding. The prophecy of Simeon has come true. Simeon prophesied concerning him. You see this child. This child is destined for the fall of rising of many in Israel, and a sign that will be contradicted. But to you, Mary, the sword will pierce through your heart. So when this sword pierced through her heart, and then Jesus saw her bleeding, her tears have turned to blood. She was bleeding with pains. It was at that moment that he looked at her for the first time in the Bible, because all the time Mary has been appearing in the Bible, she always received it hot. Eh? When it was time, they were looking for him when he was, I think, 12 years old, when he was in the temple. When Mary saw, 3 days after looking, you can imagine the state of Mary that time. If you're a mother looking for your an only son for 3 days, and after finding her, all she could say, why were you looking for me? Why were you looking for me? Must I not be after my father's business? The next time, they told him, your mother and your siblings, they are outside waiting for you. A whole first lady. He said, go and tell, who is my mother? Who is my siblings? The ones who listen to the word of God. They are my brother, they are my sisters, they are my siblings. He didn't even, he didn't even go to listen. Even this one we Catholic always quote, the first miracle, Cana in Galilee. Did Mary find it easy? Was it easy for her? Eh? Imagine a mother posing. I know my son is able. My son can do it. And then coming to the son. Son, they have no wine. And he looked at the woman. He said, woman, why are you disturbing me? My time has not come. She went away. If you are the one, how will you feel as a mother? After posing, he's my first, he's my, I know, I will tell you what to do. Don't worry. My son will take care. Get it there. And everybody, to the hearing of everybody. Woman, didn't even call her mommy. Woman, why are you disturbing me? My time has not come. So all the time you see Mary and Jesus Christ, it has been pain. He has been causing this woman pain, until this point in time when he saw Mary at the foot of the cross. The first time Jesus was moved with pity for the mother. The first time Jesus knew that the mother was already bleeding. The first time Jesus knew that the mother was in pains, the pierced heart. That was the first time Jesus, showed care. The first time Jesus said something that is consoling to her mother, to the mother. He looked at her with he felt for her, and I said, woman, behold your son. Son, behold your mother. That was it. That was it. So when immediately after John took Mary home, he was alone. There was nobody to console him. The mother has been taken away. The disciple, the only disciple, beloved disciple who was there, has gone home with the mother. He looked up. He could not see God. Down, nobody. In fact, he was alone. It was then that he felt lonely. He had to cry out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? My God, why have thou forsaken me? Have you ever felt like that before? Nobody to help. Even Psalm 121 says, I look unto the hill from where cometh my help. My help shall come from the Lord who make heaven and earth. But in his own case, nobody to help. He looked up. He could not see anything. He was only seeing darkness, void. And he cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me? My God, why have you forsaken me? So, with that loneliness, he thought all hope was gone. And since God was not there, he could not feel the presence of God. The mother has been taken away, and nobody to help, he cried out, I thirst! I am thirsty. Imagine if the mother was to be there. Maybe the mother would have been the one to give him water, but the mother has been taken away. The disciple who would have given him water has been taken away, has gone. He was the one that asked them to go. Woman, behold your son. Son, behold your mother. And so as soon as they left, now the thirst became, he was not just thirsty for water. He was thirsty for love. He was thirsty for companionship. Nobody there. He was, that was when the actual time he became thirsty was when the mother was taken away. The actual time when he became thirsty was when the beloved disciple was taken away. And then they misunderstood him. He said, I was thirsty. They say, yes. You that turn water into wine, and now you are thirsty. Don't worry, we'll deal with you. They went and brought bitter vinegar. Bitter vinegar. Maya bakarabaka. You know, the one you drink it will first of all slap you. You know? So that was what they put. They did not even put it in a cup. They soaked it in a foam, tie it on a stick, and then stretch it. The moment that bitter vinegar touch, if you have tasted vinegar, it can burn your tongue if you don't dilute it with water. So bitter. I don't know if you have tasted this thing they call, I think bitter or what bitter, you know. So the moment he tasted it, he spitted it out. He could not even drink it. It was so bitter, bitter, bitter. The moment he just and then he cried out with a loud voice, it is finished. Finished. It is finished. Almost ago. It is finished. It is finished. So everything has been accomplished. Your sins has been taken away. His mission on earth has been accomplished. Nothing. Finished. It's all over. It's all over. And then the last word you hear from him, Father, into your hand I commend my spirit. Oh. He died. Yes, but just imagine. And if you are the one seeing a young man of 33 years dying, even Judas was disappointed. Judas never expected him to die. Judas have seen so many miracles he performed. He thought that by the time they will come to arrest him, he will disappear as he has been doing. So Judas, nobody ever believed that this man will die the way he died. And I'm asking you, if you were the one, will you still refer a day like this as Good Friday? Will you still refer today as Good Friday? What is good about Good Friday? What is so good about Good Friday? And then, because tomorrow is Sabbath, they say they don't want it to remain on the cross because of the Sabbath day. They now pulled him out of the cross. Can you imagine when they are pulling the nail, how painful it would have been. And now, after bringing him down from the cross, they placed the lifeless body on the lap of this woman. The sword will pierce through your heart. They now place the lifeless body of an only son on the lap of the mother. You can imagine if we are the one seeing this sorrowful mother, Our Lady of Sorrow, carrying her only son with tears in her eyes. Will you still refer today as Good Friday? What is good about Good Friday? We were told that Joseph of Arimathea went and begged that the body should be buried. When somebody has died and you bury that person, is there any hope of resurrection? And here in Africa, we believe that it is the son that should bury the parent, not the other way around. The son, the children are the ones to bury their parents. But imagine you, Mary, mother, you are the one burying an only son. And somebody's wishing you Good Friday, happy Good Friday. In that graveyard where you buried that only son, and somebody is asking you, what can you say about today? Will you still describe today as Good Friday? Will you still describe today as Good Friday? Jesus lost me. He died for me. Nobody lost me like Jesus. Jesus lost me. He died for me. Nobody lost me like Jesus. Jesus lost me. He died for me. Nobody lost me like Jesus. Oh! Then you may ask, why Good Friday? With all these 14 painful stations we have gone through, why do we still refer today as Good Friday? What is so good? What is so special about Good Friday? Now listen to this. Most of the time you people say it, but you don't pay attention. Dying, he destroyed our death. Rising, he restored our life. That is what is good about today. By dying on the cross, Jesus has destroyed your death. And by rising from death, Jesus has restored your life. For Jesus, it was bad Friday. But for you, it was Good Friday. It was today that the price was paid. The ultimate price was paid. Imagine you have been in a prison. You were sentenced to death. And from nowhere, another young man comes and said, I will take your place. I want you to be acquitted, and I want to die on your behalf. So they signed all the document, took you to court, and it paralyzed everything. You were still in the prison, and today you were brought out, and then the young man was thrown into prison, and then they sentenced him to death. That death you would have died. Now this young man will die. For the young man, it was bad Friday, but for you, it is Good Friday. You will go and do Thanksgiving now. Your families, well wishers, siblings, they will celebrate you because that was the day you came out of prison. For the young man who took your place, it was bad Friday. But for you, it is Good Friday. Think of the day you came into this world. Think of the day you were born. Every woman will tell you that the day of their delivery is not the best of day. The day women deliver their children, you can't refer it as a good day before the birth of their child. Your mother will be in pain. Your mother will be crying for your mother. In fact, some women may even regret why they labor pain. They will even promise that after this, they are not going again because of the labor pain. So for your mother, it's bad Friday because of the pain she was undergoing. But for you, who is coming into the world, it is Good Friday. Anytime you come to your father for school fees unannounced, maybe your father has planned what to do with the money. Just imagine a man has already planned out. Maybe I want to use this money to go and pay electric bill. I want to use this money to go and pay the house rent. And from nowhere, you come, daddy, school fees, school fees. They say we must bring it today. You don't know what this man went through. You don't know what he has to go through. The sacrifice he has to make. As he's entering his room, it's like, but what should I do? If I don't give my child this school fees, the school, they may send him out. So bringing the money out for your father, it is bad Friday. But for you receiving the school fees, hey, thank you, daddy, it is Good Friday. Your father has to now look for another money elsewhere, struggle, go to, all these laborers, stay under the sun in order to get money to pay the house rent. But for you, you have gotten your school fees, it is Good Friday for you. But the day you came to collect that money, bad Friday for your dad. One man's meat, another man's poison. Do you not see the reason why we call it Good Friday? For Jesus Christ, it was bad Friday. But for the world, for humanity, it was Good Friday. Because this is a day he paid the ultimate price. Let me rush down the reading of today. You will understand what I'm talking about. By his wounds, you are healed. Isaiah chapter 52 from verse 13 and then 53 from verse 12. This is today's first reading. Behold, my servant shall prosper. He shall be exalted and lifted up, and shall be very high. As many were astonished at him, his appearance was so mad, beyond human semblance. Okay? And his form beyond that of the Son of Man. So shall his so shall he startle many nations. Kings shall shut their mouths because of him. For that which has not been told them, they shall see, and that which they have not heard, they shall understand. Who has believed what we have heard? Okay? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he grew up before him like a young plant. He grew up like a young plant. Okay? And like a root out of dry ground. He had no form. He had no form, no or comeliness that we should look at him. No beauty that we should desire him. Okay? He was despised and rejected by men and women, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and as one from whom men hide their faces. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our grief. He has borne our grief. The grief that would have come to us, he has taken upon himself. So while he is grieving, we are smiling. While he is in sorrow, we are glad. While he is in tears, we are laughing. Surely he has borne our grief and carried our sorrows. You see, even our sorrows, he has taken upon himself. And that is why we are celebrating. Yet we esteem him stricken, struck down by God, and afflicted. Imagine. But he was wounded for our transgressions. For our transgressions, from our sinfulness, he was wounded. He was bruised for our iniquities. All these things he suffered is because of our sin, because of our iniquities, because of our wickedness. Okay? Upon him was the chastisement that made us whole. And with him, and with his stripes, we are healed. As we are receiving healing, he is receiving wound. Oh my God. That's why I call him the wounded Messiah. By his wounds, we are healed. Look at it. For him, as he's receiving the wound, it is Bad Friday. But we, as we are receiving our healing, it is Good Friday. By his wounds, we are healed. By his stripes, we are healed. So while he is receiving the pain, while he is in agony, we are receiving healing. Do you see why it is called Good Friday? By his stripes, we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Imagine the iniquity of us all has been laid on one man. Okay? He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. Like a lamb that is led to the slaughter, and like a sheep that is before its shearers is silent, so he opened not his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. And as for his generation, who considered that he was cut off out of the land of the living, stricken for the transgression of my people. And they made his grave with the wicked. Imagine, they made his grave with the wicked. That is when we are going through this. You see, he was crucified with robbers. Armed robbers. The same way they crucified armed robbers. That is how they crucified him. They made his grave with the wicked and with a rich man in his death. Although he had done no violence, tell me, what charges do they have against Jesus? What crime did Jesus commit? Was he caught with any woman? Was he taking people's landed property? A son of man, he even said, the son of man has no place to lay his head. Can you tell me what charges they are bringing against this man? Who did he offend? Onyeka Omeburu. Who did he offend? Although he had done no violence and there was no deceit in his mouth, he cannot deceive you. In fact, he said, he is the way, the truth, and the life. A man full of truth. Yet it was the will of the Lord to bruise him. Imagine. It was the will of God to bruise him. It was the will of God that he will be rejected. It was the will of God that he will carry the cross. It was the will of God that he will fall a first time. It was the will of God that he will meet his mother on the way to Calvary. It was the will of God that Veronica will wipe away his face. It was the will of God that Simeon should help him carry the cross. It was the will of God that he will fall a second time. It was the will of God that women of Jerusalem will cry for him. It was the will of God that he will fall a third time. It was the will of God that they will strip him naked. It was the will of God that we crucify him on the cross. It was the will of God that he will die on the cross. It was the will of God that they will bring him down from the cross. It was the will of God that they will bury him. All this happened in accordance to God's will. It was the will of God. Yet it was the will of God to bruise him. He has put him to grave when he makes himself an offering for sin. He shall see his offspring. He shall prolong his days. The will of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the fruit of the travail of his soul and be satisfied. By his knowledge shall the righteous one, my servant, make many to be acquitted. By his knowledge shall the righteous one make many to be accounted righteous. You see? And he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore, I will divide him a portion with the great. God raised him up, gave him the name that is above every other name. That at the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. And he shall divide the spoil and the strong, because he poured out his soul to death and was numbered with the transgressors. Yet he bore the sin of many. He bore the sin of many. He bore the sin of many. And he made intercession for the transgressors, like us, like me and you. He bore the sin of many. With this, you can now see the reason why we call today Good Friday. He became a sin in order to set us free from sin. A handset, they are looking for a handset. Who collected this handset? And they have already declared that if we see who is holding this handset, that person will die. Whoever is holding this handset will die. And you are the one holding the handset. And you don't have any place to hide the handset. And there is a young man standing there. He knows that if they see you with this handset, they will kill you. The young man collected the handset from you. And as they came, they met the young man with the handset. Instead of killing you, they killed the young man. This handset is the sin that would have led to your death. The young man in question who collected the handset happens to be Jesus Christ. The soldiers, they saw him with a handset. He made himself sin. He took upon him all your sin, all your iniquities. So when they now saw him, the anger they would have vented on you, they now invented it on him. And he said, it is finished. It is finished. It is finished. It is finished. How bless you, God. It is finished. It's over. All he did for you. He cried so that you will never cry again. Did you hear his cry? Are you hearing the cry of Jesus? He cried so that you will not cry again. He suffered so that you will not suffer again. He received the blow, wound. He was wounded, the wounded Messiah, so that you will not be hurt again. The day became bad for him, so that it will become good for you. He experienced bad Friday, so that you will experience good Friday. He accepted the negative so that you will receive the positive. He accepted rejection so that you will receive acceptance. He accepted humiliation so that you will be exalted. He accepted death so that you will receive life. He accepted hatred, passion, so that you will receive love. He was wounded for your transgressions. He accepted all this so that you will receive the best. It's not just Good Friday for you. It is the best Friday because the price has been paid. What you could not do for yourself, Jesus has done for you. What no one could do for you, Jesus has done for you. By crying on the cross, you will never cry again. By dying, you will never die again. Even if you die, he will raise you up on the last day. Dying, he has destroyed your debt. Rising, he has restored your life. Once again, I wish you happy Good Friday. Now you know what is good about Good Friday. Can you say you don't know? Now you know why we call it Good Friday. And I pray that all the good things Christ has wished for you on a day like this, you will start receiving it from today. It is Good Friday. All the good things that comes from the death of Christ, from today, they will start coming your way because the price has been paid. Dying, he has destroyed your debt. Rising, he has restored your life. Once again, I wish you happy Good Friday. Whenever you remember a day like this, always remember that a young man has paid the price. A young man has suffered what you would have suffered. A young man, you hear some parents telling their children, what I will not allow you to suffer, what I have suffered. A young man has suffered what you would have suffered. A young man has died the death you would have died. A young man has received bad day, the bad day you would have received, the evil day that would have come your way. A young man has received it on your behalf. So no more evil day in your life. It has to be good, good, good and good Friday, good and good Saturday, good and good Sunday, good and good Monday, good and good Tuesday, good and good Wednesday, good and good Thursday. All the days of your life, goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life, and you shall continue to enjoy the good things that comes from Good Friday. You shall enjoy the good things that come from the death of Christ, and you shall dwell in the presence of God forever and ever and ever and ever. Happy Good Friday.